What's up, guys? John Bird III here. We're back again for another video. Today's video, you're in for a treat because you know why? We got an unboxing. So I think I know what this is. I didn't actually order this. There's a little bit of backstory that I'm not gonna get into too deep in the weeds on, but I think I know exactly what this is. But we're just gonna go ahead, dive into it, and I'm gonna walk you through my thought process about the stuff that's in this box and what I'm going to use it for. So let's get into it. So just really getting back from ICAST, getting everything situated and stuff like that. It has been a whirlwind. And let me know in the comments what new products from Lose or Strike King or Mach that you guys actually enjoyed seeing. So make sure you leave a comment down below. And for all of you who are new to the channel, make sure y'all go ahead, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you hit that like button. I'm trying to grow my channel to 1,000 subscribers. At 1,000 subscribers, we will do a big giveaway. So make sure you stay tuned, but you gotta subscribe so we can get to 1,000 so we can have that giveaway. But no further ado, let's get away with all the paper. Let's jump right into it. The Mach Smash. Now, man, so if you watched my other video about the Mach Smash combo that I did, y'all know that I like the Mach Smash. I think it's a great price point combo for a bait caster. It ain't nothing fancy, but it will definitely get the job done. The Mach Smash rods are normally, they're a little bit more parabolic, so they have a little bit more give to them compared to some of the other Lose rods and even some of the other Mach rods and stuff that's in the lineup. But this is a great starter bait cast combo in my opinion to get. And plus the bright reddish orange, it's like a red with a hint of orange to it. So I love the color. It really pops and it really stands out. But the reel is great. Traditionally, what I have used this for was, this was like an open water buzz bait type deal to where when they just grab it, you can kind of lean into them. Because again, like I said, the rods are more so a little bit more parabolic. But this reel right here is actually a pretty decent reel. You want to do Texas rigs, buzz baits, bladed jigs, anything moving bait wise is great. If you want to flip a little bit, I think you can get away with this, like Texas rigs. It's kind of a great entry level all purpose reel, or if you buy the combo to get for your lineup. So definitely check out the Mach Smash because again, it's just like, it's a really cool looking reel. Very simplistic. It doesn't have any internal pins to it at all. It's literally just the magnetic brake dial here, just like that. So you see how the 5 brakes right there, they're facing the wall of the spool. So that's literally all it is. So simplistic. Adjust your gas pedal. Adjust your gas pedal, adjust your brake pedal, set your drag, you're ready to go. So, Mach Smash. The next reel in this box is the Tournament Pro. So I did a video on this reel and it has done very, very well. So this is a reel and the video was titled the best $200 reel on the market. And I'm going to post the thumbnail of that video right here on the screen. The best $200 reel on the market. I can't find another better reel to buy on the market other than the Tournament Pro. Now, some people will say, oh man, get you a Corrado. I've had a bad experience with a Corrado, just being transparent. Bought my Corrado, I was setting it in just like any other reel that I have in my arsenal. I was setting it up or whatever. And I put on a big football jig, half-ounce football jig. And I was trying to dial it in and I just kept backlashing. So I was like, something ain't right. So I locked down the gas pedal. I locked it all the way down. In that reel, it has like 4 or 6 pins. I locked all the pins down and I made a long cast and I was still backlashing. I was just like, man, something's wrong with this reel. And I'm like, in my opinion, I'm not bashing the Corrado or anything like that, but I just had a bad experience with it. So I took it back and I picked up the Tournament Pro. So got another Tournament Pro. This reel right here, this is a do-all reel. So I mentioned in that video that this reel comes in 3-gear ratio, so 6-8 to 1, 7-5 to 1, and 8-3 to 1. So you can literally build out a whole entire arsenal full of Tournament Pros and literally use them for every single thing, right? And so the Tournament Pro is just that reel that it looks pretty cool with the black and gold accents. And it's just a reel that runs. Like, it will run and run and run. Just like the $99 speed spool. So this, in my opinion, this is the big brother of the $99 speed spool. And so, just to show you what the internals look like, because you know I'm always talking about the internals. So this here, this has the ACB braking system in it. And so basically, it's nothing crazy. You don't have to adjust these little orange pins. And let me show y'all again. So you don't have to adjust those orange pins or anything in there. The only thing that you literally have to do with the ACB braking system is adjust your brake pedal. And again, set your gas pedal on the outside, and that's it. And that's what I like about these reels. Simplistic. I don't really like messing with pins on the inside. It's just something about pins on the inside that I'm personally not a fan of. I'd rather set my gas pedal, set my brake pedal, and that's it. No messing with no pins. But currently, what I was using this reel for was, like, I say a speed worm, cutter worm, any type swimming worm type deal. So I would throw a light Texas rig with this thing, maybe 3/16, 1/8 ounce, quarter, you know, somewhere like that, depending on the grass, how thick it is, how deep it is, whatever. That's how base what size, weight I was throwing on the setup. But that's what this reel was for. But I've also used this reel to throw a hybrid hunter. I've used this to throw buzz baits. I use this to throw jigs. Like, you can literally do everything with this reel. And that is one of the real reasons why I like it. And I think it's the best $200 reel on the market because it just runs. So if you go look in the review section on like Tackle Warehouse or any one of the retailers and they're talking about the Tournament Pro, you see a lot of great comments about this reel. Everybody talks about how well it runs. It's a fairly light reel. It's not too heavy. I want to say the actual weight of this reel, 6.4 ounces. So I say that is like middle of the road, right? So it's not too light, and it's not super light like the custom light shallow spool or the custom light, which is 4.8 ounces, and it's not heavy like a Super Duty, which is 8 ounces. So it's like right there in the middle. So great all around reel, weight, and you can fish with this reel all day, not get tired, not get fatigued in your wrist. One thing you're gonna find out in my videos is when I'm trying to find the right rod and right reel for the technique is I don't like a setup that's gonna cause my wrist to be super fatigued. I can't stand it because I don't wanna go home tired from fishing all day and my wrist is just sore from a super heavy setup. So I try to find the lightest setup that I can find, that I can buy, and that also would work perfect for the whatever the technique is. Sometimes, full transparency, sometimes when you're trying to find that setup, when you get into your big heavy duty flipping setup, so your 7.6, anything bigger than a 7.6, those rods can be a little tip heavy and the rods can be a little bit heavy. Probably the most balanced flipping stick that isn't heavy on my wrist and I can fish with all day is the 7.6 Greg Hackney pitching stick. That rod might be the best balanced flipping stick that I've ever put in my hand without having to put a reel on there. And once I put a reel on there, I mean, it's money. So a reel that I would put on the flipping stick is like Hypermat, like I got sitting over there, Pro TI, the new Custom Pro. But that's pretty much the gist of it. So some techniques, especially when you get into those longer rods, sometimes in my opinion, I feel like they can be a little tip heavy. And when you depending on the reel you put on there, they got some weight to them. It's gonna cause your wrist to be fatigued. There's very few techniques that I found when I built those setups that it causes my wrist to be tired. Very few. So, but again, and that's across all brands. If you ever find a pitching stick, sometimes they can be a little bit heavy. And so and the only way to counteract, and we're gonna talk about this in another video when we're talking about general rod knowledge. That is something that we're gonna talk about. The only way to counteract a tip heavy rod, you're gonna have to put a heavier reel on the back of that rod in order to balance that setup out. Once you balance that setup out, it doesn't feel as heavy. I played with some stuff and I realized that's kind of how I figured it out. You have to put a heavier reel on the back end of that rod to balance it out, and it doesn't feel as heavy. So, and then you're able to fish with it longer throughout the day, but it's still a heavier setup. So I try to find the lightest setups possible. So back to the Tournament Pro. Again, great workhorse reel, and again, swim worm, speed worm type deal. That is what this reel is for. But I also know if I need a reel just for any technique, I can pick it up and use it. So that's why I love Tournament Pro. And again, in my opinion, best $200 reel on the market. You can't tell me there's a better reel on the market for $200 other than the Tournament Pro. So that's that. And last but not least, leave a comment what you think this last reel is going to be. I don't know why. Let's just be transparent. I don't know why people even say that in the middle of the video to say leave a comment, because they can go. It's not like you can go put a comment right there in the video, right then and there. So I'm like, come on, guys. But I get what they're trying to do. So I'm just do like everybody else. Leave a comment down below what you think the reel that's left in this box is going to be. But no further ado, last reel I got in this box is the Pro TI. Gen 2. Y'all know I love the Pro TI. And this reel right here, I mean, for me, it's my bladed jig reel. But this is also a workhorse reel for me too. I can throw bladed jigs, spinner baits, I can flip with it, I can fraud with it. I can do everything with this reel, and I know this reel is just going to straight up perform. Now, let's just go ahead and talk about it. Price point, this reel is $400. This is in my opinion, this is what I would consider high end. Anything from, let's say 300 plus, 275 plus, I consider that high end, because that reel there is for your diehard anglers that, and when I say diehard, I don't mean like you can't be a bank angler or anything like that and not be a diehard. That's not what I'm saying. I feel like when you start buying reels in this price point, 275 plus, like you need to be on the water a lot, and you need to be able to get a lot of return back on these higher end reels. Because sometimes, let's just be transparent, we watch Tactical Bassing. Every time they do their buyer's guide around Christmas, when they do that high end video, I love watching that video, but sometimes I'll be like, man, that stuff those setups are expensive. Like they've had some $1,500, $1,600, $1,700 combos between the rod and the reel. And I'm just like, dude, there's nothing that you could tell me about that setup that could convince me to go and buy a setup for $1,500 to $1,800. Like there is nothing out there for me. I just can't do it. So, but this reel right here is not just for, like I said, like a weekend warrior. I feel like in order for you to get your real money's worth out of this reel, like you need to be fishing like multiple days a week. And I mean, putting in a lot of time for this reel. Now, unless you want to ball out for your birthday, Christmas, Father's Day, whatever, like you want to ball out, like this is a great reel to get. But I would consider this reel right here to be a reel that is for that guy that's like really, really in the trenches with this deal. Now, if that's you, then get it. But let's just be honest, especially for our younger guys. If we got any high school anglers watching this video, like one thing I do want to say is like, you don't need that to compete. Like $99 speed spool, by far my favorite reel. Nothing pretty about it, but it will run. You put a $99 speed spool on the Mach 1 rods, the Mach 2 rods, like the KVD rods, they priced at $109. Like that's it. You got a $200 combo and you ready to go. Like all those rods that I mentioned, they're all technique specific. So you get you a KVD rod, they're $109. They're all technique specific. Get you a Mach one rod, they're $100. They're technique specific. The new Lose TP2 rods, they are $100. They're $99.99. Tax 103, 104, depending on where you live, whatever. They're $100 rods. All the casting rods are technique specific. The spinning rods aren't technique specific, but I don't really feel like you necessarily need that. But the casting rods, they got a big plethora of casting rods. Their complete total of the full entire series is 24 models. So you get your $99 speed spool and a TP2 rod for $200. That setup right there is money. I went to test the TP2 rods a few weeks ago. I was throwing a big worm on a 7.5 medium heavy fast. Great rod. For a long rod, it's balanced right. And I actually, what reel did I actually have on that rod? I think I had, I can't even remember what reel I had on that rod. Actually, I went a little pricey. I had Hyper Mag on there. But again, like $99 speed spool. Like I said, y'all seen the video. I caught a 6-pounder $99 speed spool. $99 speed spool on the TP2 setup. That is a great setup. I would have a boat full of those setups because like you don't really need a whole lot of high-end stuff to catch fish to fish tournaments. And I think as a bass fishing community, I feel like we need to kind of hammer down and hone in on that. And I ain't trying to stir the pot, but I guess that goes along somewhat with some stuff that Randy Blockett is saying. In some ways, I don't 100% agree with Randy Blockett at all. But there are a lot of setups that you can get for the money that won't break the bank, that will catch fish, that will balance well, that will be sensitive, and you don't have to spend a whole lot of money, and you can go out there, cash checks, cut butt, and you ain't got a whole lot of high-end stuff in your boat, and that's perfectly fine. But I promise you, I like them TP2 rods. That is a great rod. Series completely. 24 models. I want to say out of the 24 models, there are, I think it's like 18, 19 casting, and then the rest are spinning. It's not many spinning models, but again, like great rod series, and you definitely need to try that series. But going back to the Pro TI, again, this is one of my favorite reels that I have in my entire arsenal. Again, I throw a bladed jig with this. Reason being, if you go back and watch my Elite TI versus Pro TI video, you will find out why this is my favorite reel. Because I have, well, one of my favorite reels. My favorite reel is the one down here, and we're going to talk about that later. But one of my favorite reels, top 3. And the reason being is I played with Gen 1. See, I have 2 Gen 1s right here. One of these I actually won in a giveaway a while ago, and then another one was given to me as a gift. And so I've had this particular one right here. I've had this one since 2020. And I beat this reel to death, and it has only, when I first got this reel, this was my bladed jig reel. And when Gen 2 came out, that's why I switched, because I wanted to make sure I'm using Gen 2 so I can put it through the same test that I put Gen 1 in. And so the reel works. It is a great reel. If you can afford it, go and buy it. Do you need it? No. If you can't afford it, I promise you, $99 speed spool. You can go out and buy fancy knobs and make that reel look pretty. And it just works. But if you can afford it, get the Pro TI reel. It's a great reel to have. It is worth it. Only downside to this reel, aside from price point, is when it's cold, this reel does get pretty cold because of the titanium coating that's on this reel. That's why this reel gets very, very cold. But aside from that, it's a workhorse. So that's it for today's video. So be prepared for next week's video. I think I got a specific technique that I set up that I want to talk about. But let me know in the comment section what technique setups that I haven't talked about that you want to hear. Maybe it might be a football jig. Maybe it may be my Nico rig setup. I don't know. Whatever setup that you haven't seen a video from me from, I know I need to do a video on my punching setup. Haven't done one on that. So I have a bunch of videos left that I still need to do. But let me know in the comment section what type of setup that you want to hear me talk about and hear my thought process behind. I have a setup in particular that I have 4 different rods for, and 2 of them are discontinued, and we're going to talk about that in the video actually next week. But there are 3 of the 4 rods are discontinued, but there is a current model that is available that you can get that will work just fine. But anyway, we will get more into that. But until then, leave a comment down below what you want to hear me talk about, in some of these more videos. Even baits. I'll throw some baits in there. Let me know. But I'm JB3. I got to get back to living the dream. I'll catch you later.